Hey everyone, today is a really nice day in August. Today is August 20th, 2024. It's beautiful out. It's only 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. And we stopped on this section of road. Got a little erosion here in the drainage ditch. A lot of blackberries. I saw a bear run away from me this morning. Right here the road's washed out, but I think we can pass through it without an issue. So it's a very rusted out culvert pipe. The bottom of this culvert pipe is completely rusted away, so as water passes through it, the road's able to slip into it and get sucked out into the woods. Gets worse and worse, starts off with little sinkholes. This pipe's not very deep, so it's not a giant issue as far as getting hurt, but you can get stuck in it. They're gonna have to fix this eventually. The inside, the bottom of the pipe's completely crumpled. The coupling must have been sharp. Someone threw it out of there so you don't pop your tires on it. The end of this is kind of upwards and kinked. That could be from the grader, snowplow, excavator digging out the ditch. But it served its life. This thing is probably at least 30 years old to be in this rough of shape. We're going to try driving through this, do some road inspections. I love days like this. It's misting so lightly where you'd have to be out here for hours to actually get wet. It's beautiful out. All right, let's go through this. Should have no problem going through these kind of things in mud holes. My tires were very bald, so I replaced them last week. This is the first time taking the dirt roads with the new tires. Got the most aggressive ones that are street legal. It's like grooves like tractor tires. And they're not even that loud on the highway like I expected them to be. Just gotta go slow through this. Don't think we'll bottom out. I think we got the clearance we need. Alright, slow. Ooh, I may have skid a little bit, but it's okay. Damn it. Oh no. Well, it's something interesting to get out and look at, but I'm gonna have to spin it around now. We can't go through there. We're gonna have to figure out how to get around this. I'm sure there's a alternate route, but it's gonna put a dent in our unclogging time today because we only got maybe 4 hours before it's pitch dark. A lot of people told me that getting aggressive tires was gonna lead to the car being extremely loud on the highway. It is a bit louder, doesn't bother me. And at really slow crawling speeds, you can feel the vibration of from the grooves in the tire. I think it's kind of cool. So, I don't want to get too close to the edge. All right, it's not hollow there. I can get a little closer. That is one super deep culvert pipe. Look at that down there. Real deep. It looks like maybe it's a homemade one. Or maybe, oh, that's just the coupling I'm seeing. That's what it is. We lost the other part of the culvert. Who knows where that could be. But it looks like it probably got clogged. Water probably went over the top. Something caused this giant wall. That was a huge retaining wall, those giant rocks there holding the road up. The whole thing just slipped. So, no way you're getting across this. Unless you're a daredevil with an ATV, or safely maybe with a dirt bike. This is a gigantic washout. Oh my gosh, there's the culvert! Look at that! Imagine how high the water got to throw that up there. Wow. And it doesn't look like a ton of water actually went over this. I can't believe the amount of water was coming out of that to do that. Interesting. I got to find a way down here to this river because I want to see what's in front of this pipe. It looks like it's huge logs that we can't move, but it doesn't matter because they're going to be out here with heavy machinery anyways. I just want to see. Trees are all wet. Okay, it's not that steep. I'm noticing right off the bat this whole area is full of sand. This entire area backed up and flooded, so I don't see much erosion up there, but this whole area flooded because it couldn't fit through the culvert. Where I'm standing, my face would be underwater when this flooded. See lots of debris that it left behind. Very beautiful mossy riverbed. Wow. What a beautiful scene. Look at this. Picture perfect spot. Look at that. Nice. Beautiful moss. This would be a nice place to spend a hot summer day. I gotta remember, I don't have my boots on. I'm gonna end up flooding myself. I'll get the big high boots on later. And miraculously, there's nothing in the culvert. They either cleared it already or the sheer pressure just smashed it out of the way. Wow, look up here in the trees. You see all this debris up in the trees? That's how high the water was. Look at that. That it has to be at least 12 feet from the ground. Wow. Now we're gonna be like a monkey and we're gonna use this tree to get back up to the road. It just looks easier. Unless it's super slippery. Is it super slippery? No, it's actually not. But this thing I'm standing on right here was definitely put here by the river. It's maybe slanted at, I don't know, maybe a almost 30-degree angle, but it's not slippery. It's got rough bark. Now if it were birch, it'd be a different story. But wow, look at that. Washed out. That's cool. They got a mess. I see this kind of stuff all the time, and it's because they put culverts where there probably should be bridges. But I gotta say, I've never seen this one washed out before. I've seen other locations that wash out consecutively every single year, at least once, sometimes twice. They keep putting the culvert back. Every now and then, yeah, they'll replace them with a bridge. I don't like this. We're gonna make this a little more visible. I want to put a stick in the middle. I just wanted to make it a little more noticeable. This is a main artery, so someone could come from either side. I just wanted to lift that off the ground. This one's no longer dragging. It just looks a little better at nighttime, because people do speed on these back roads. All right, we gotta find a way around now. Do a 5-point turn. Get out of here. It's very steep here. Both sides into the woods. At least we had a good amount of room. Probably could have done it with a 5-pointer, but don't want to back into the bushes that I can't see anything. Look at all the erosion here. See how rocky it is? It's from extremely heavy rainfall that we got recently. Now you notice the riverbed itself isn't really eroded or anything. It's just the poorly built road is what fell apart. That culvert is a joke. Look at the size of the riverbed compared to the size of the culvert. It's a joke. And these are dirt roads. On hills, they build the base with a lot of boulders, and then they pack sand and dirt on top of it so it's a smooth ride. Then when it rains, it removes the sand and dirt, exposing the base of the road, which is all rocks. And it doesn't wash out a lot because it's built better, but it is going to make it a lot more bumpy. Look at that. That's a sharp culvert in the middle of the road we just went over. So during these same storms, I think over the past couple of days, a lot of areas down south, like Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, have had severe flooding from the same system. Up here, the rivers didn't get super high. There's washouts like this just because it's dirt roads, but nothing too severe, nothing too unusual. Things like what I just showed you there, I encounter that dozens of times a year. It just happens out on these dirt roads. And these dirt roads are meant to be easily repairable. That's not a super big job. They'll hammer that out in a day once they get on it. But these roads are permanent. I don't know why people think that they're not permanent. The only reason they're not paved is because this far north, it's such a rural place, it costs too much and it gets too cold, so the asphalt would be destroyed too quickly. So that's why there's nothing like that. Like up north, there's some very main roads that they're used a lot. They do pave them, but one winter, they're all cracked, potholes forming. Doesn't take long for that stuff to occur. Down south, the flooding is a lot worse when these systems come through. It's just because it's so built up. Every building, every driveway, every parking lot creates non-permeable watershed. So that means it's added to the rivers unnaturally, causing them to flood a lot more rapid. Around here with woods and dirt roads, it absorbs it a lot better. So the flooding usually is more minimal out in the middle of nowhere. And of course, the more population there is, the more people that will be affected by a storm like that. All right, we're about to be coming back up on that first thing I had to drive over, which isn't a big deal. I gotta map my way around this. Here we are. All right, we're about to drive through this again. Thing that bottomed out, or felt like it may have bottomed out before, I think was the hitch. Let's see if it does it again. Nope, not that time. It felt like the hitch dragged before, because I have a drop hitch, so that's like it's not low when I'm flat, but when the front of the truck is up, it digs down. All right, everyone, we're still trying to get around that washout. A lot of the roads have situations like this. Not really that bad, but it shows me that this stream was going over the road. You see? Look at this. Look in there. Actually a very big culvert. But all it takes is a couple sticks in there. Builds up all this stuff. Yeah, it's actually only that one right there caused us to back up behind it. But you can tell the amount of water that would have been going over here regardless would not have fit through that pipe. Water going over the top started eroding this. And you know, thinking back at that big washout, no, I don't think it ever went over the road. What I think happened is the amount of water going through the culvert I don't think was in good shape, or the coupling came apart, and I think it pushed out the other end of the pipe, then the whole road slid down there, because as you saw, there's no evidence it actually was going over the top of that. All right, here's another section of road. It's very rocky. I'm sure there's a culvert pipe here somewhere. Couldn't handle it, went over the road. All right, everyone. I don't know if this road's gonna go through or not, but this is another chance. Right here, the road looks pretty flooded out. And we gotta take a look at this culvert pipe. We've been to this culvert before. It has a massive dam in it. Wow. Look at the amount of water crossing. The beavers are even building a dam to make their pond even deeper. Wow. Alright, so this road here doesn't go anywhere. I'm gonna turn around. I just turned down here for the moment to look at this flood along the way. We gotta go see if we can do anything about it. It looks like a small pond. Maybe it'll drain fast. If not, it's a pipe that is so big, it wouldn't be smart to do it at once. It's a smooth pipe. It's not even corrugated. So maybe it'll drain fast while we're doing it. We'll see. A little bit muddy over here. I doubt anyone else will pass us while we're here, but I'm gonna pull over here, get the big high boots on, because if we do this, we're definitely gonna need them. What do we got here? Is there a ditch hiding? All right, we got space to pull over. Good. All right, everyone. Got the big high boots on. Let's go check this out before we get the rake and stuff. See if anything can be done here. That's a lot of water crossing there. But the pond looks tiny. Looks can be deceiving sometimes. It's got a lot of overgrowth. Lots of things in the water displacing it. Beavers always build a dam because they want their pond even deeper. Road's built nice and rocky. Washout's not that bad. It is flooded downstream. Beavers often build multiple dams. The trees are turning colors just like in the fall because they are dying, they are drowning. Yeah, this pond, it's definitely much deeper than it looks. You see the grass? It looks like it could go all the way back in there. Still not, it's not nearly the biggest we've seen. But this spot here, I'm assuming is at least 5 feet deep because the pipe is huge. This is an old diesel fuel tank. Okay. How thick is this dam? Okay. Not the worst. It's got a big, big base. Is there more than one pipe? I don't remember. I think it's just one. They're logging nearby if you hear that. There's a giant pile of debris. It must be from the last time they came out here with the excavator. It got blasted out. Is it? I don't think it's too deep down this side. Nope, it's pouring. Good. Carefully, gotta get down into the water. Ooh, a lot of spider webs getting tangled around me. Alright, let's take a quick look. Alright, the pipe's smaller than I thought. See that hole right there with groundwater coming out? Remember, it was a gas station tank. That's probably where they used to fill it. It's got reinforcements. We're trying to determine if this is a doable one. Because this is a smooth bottom pipe. Once the water starts surging a little bit, we're not going to really be able to stand in here. Alright everyone, we're underprepared today. Didn't plan on doing stuff like this, just planned on doing inspections, but I got what I need. I got a giant magnetic light, but I do not have my magnetic tripod, so we're not going to use a camera 2, and I gotta figure out where I can even put this camera 1 where it'll even get a good shot. Can't put it here. You won't be able to see anything until I actually get that open, and it's gonna be like 20 minutes of dismantling behind the dam first. In a situation like this, where do we even set up? I think I might be able to set you guys here. Huh, this is actually a really good shot right here on the end of the pipe with the tripod draping down. Now, how much of a difference is my headlamp gonna make? Makes a huge difference, and my actual camera light, even bigger difference. Alright, so we're good to start this. Alright, let's get going. The overexposure you're seeing is just a lack of light, it seems, because once I get in here, it goes away. So should I leave the camera light here on the end? I think I will. Whoop. Okay, let's go on in. Making sure this doesn't build up in case I need to make an emergency escape. Come on. Pushing everything out of the way, just in case that lets loose. It'll move through here fairly slow, but I gotta make sure none of this junk that's sitting here backing up the water. Got a good feeling about this one. Oh, it's raining. Surprisingly, I can get good traction in there. Shut the light off. Well, that light's burning hot. But before it gets too dangerous, now we gotta start working from the outside. Wow. Look what we got to come out of there. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. That's going a lot. And the water's almost done flowing across the road. We got it down a little, but now I'm gonna chop away from the outside for safety reasons. Also, I can't hear myself think. That's gonna probably leave me with a ringing ear for a bit. It's so horribly loud in that culvert. All right, everyone. I can't believe it. We got it completely open. Whole pond's gonna drain back now. 2.5 more feet. Look at that. Got it all the way down to the bottom. Awesome. There's still a little bit of foundation there, but it's level with the bottom of the pipe. Now you can see a bunch of current coming in. Not dropping as fast as I thought, because the beaver pond has to go all the way back there. I can tell by the growth. They were here maybe 5 years ago. They got trapped. Then new family came back. And look at all the building material since it was abandoned and drained for a while. They're gonna be a big problem until they're relocated again. But this is like one of the best things for a culvert pipe. That'll outlast every single existing corrugated one. Look at that current. No way I'd be able to stand in that now. Here's what the exiting end looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Check out that awesome gush going through the woods. Now let's get a quick look at the inside of the pipe. Look at that, wow. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Wow. Awesome amount of current. And here's what the entrance of the pipe looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. That is awesome. Check out the water lines of where this was before. Wow. Here's what this section of road looked like before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. No more flow going across the road. This puddle will dry up. Take a look at the beaver dam right here. Below capacity, maybe 8 inches. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Wow, I can hear rapids gushing. Got some tadpoles here in these puddles. That'll become bird food as soon as I leave. Look at this, the birds are so excited that we're draining this because they can easily pick little creatures that are trapped in the pools once this drops back. Yeah, this whole area here will be drained really fast. You can hear the rapids in the background. Here's what it looked like before going into the woods. And here's what it looks like now. Really big improvement. All right, road all drained. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Looking good. The beavers will have that thing plugged up by the end of the weekend again until the trapper gets out here. But it buys the road some time so it doesn't wash out. That'll drop back about 2 more hours, but we gotta get going. I still have no idea if we're gonna be able to get around that washout from earlier. That's what we're still attempting. These roads can be a maze after a major storm. And beavers make the situation so much worse, contributing to these washouts. Plugging the pipe, more likely to push the road out. This is actually a really good shot right here. Alright, this road is turning to garbage fast. We're gonna try to do it. I do not think that they updated satellite maps within the last 2 days since these floods happened, but oh wow. Look at these satellite pictures I'm looking at. If we zoom in a little bit, road is like a river. Do you see that? That's rocks and rapids in the middle of the road. I doubt that they had just updated it, but that's probably years old, but hopefully we don't run into that again. This road looks familiar, like maybe I've been on it before, but it's very washed out. It's a very bumpy road, but so far, no bad washouts. Alright everyone, I've been time-lapsing it, but right now I just want to show you, I could bottom out and get stuck. Those ruts right here around this corner are extremely deep. And right here, what I'm driving over is also pretty deep. But I got enough clearance that it's not an issue. So far it's very, very bumpy. The soil is washed out, leaving behind just a lot of big rocks. But other than that, clearance isn't a problem. It's just an unpleasant ride. I hope we can make it all the way through this. Because if this is the road I'm thinking about, I haven't gone down this in years, and it doesn't look maintained, and I gotta say it was horrible 3 years ago. It gives me hope. I do see other tire tracks, but hopefully it wasn't somebody just turning around. I'll time-lapse more of this. Alright, 100% this is the road I thought it was. I gotta get out and look at this culvert pipe and make sure this isn't sharp. Failed because it's made out of aluminum. It looks like I can put one wheel close to the edge there and have one here, but okay, it's not really that sharp. It's aluminum, it's soft. Lasts forever if it's deep enough, but it's better than plastic, but not as good as steel. At least that doesn't look very sharp. You know what, car tires, if you kick it, it kind of jiggles. The tires I buy are very hard, like a heavy equipment tire, so it's less likely to have issues like this. Just gotta look outside for a moment. Just make sure I'm not too close to the edge. All right, we're going in. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Oh, oh. The hitch dragged. It's okay. All right, we got something up here. Just a little bit of water crossing over. There's probably a clogged culvert there somewhere. The drainage ditch is completely filled in, so that's buried. This road's also getting really tight since the last time I did it. We're brushing against a lot of trees. There's not much clearance, but I'm hopeful it's gonna go through. There's one spot, if I remember correctly, was a little scary, like it felt like you could possibly tip over, but back then I didn't have a truck, so it might be nothing when we get to it. Very unpleasant road. The map says I got exactly 2 miles remaining of this. So we started with 6. So we got most of it done. I expect one more bad spot. These trees are getting really short. Look at this. We're brushing against a lot of things. But it is pretty out. Everything's so green. This area doesn't decent bugs or anything. Everything's nice and lush. Got some big rocks up here in the road. Remember when I used to go down these roads with my old car, you had to be real careful because you'd hit things like this. Actually, that's actually a big rock. I'll probably hit that with this if I go over there. But I got the skid plates just in case of that. Alright, this might be another, yeah, this is definitely another issue. Is this what I was thinking of? Wow, these trees are short. Okay. Not gonna be a problem for us, but wow, look at that culvert. That thing is super shiny. A lot of people must hit that. Real shiny from people running it over. We gotta go through these trees here. It's not a sharp one, so. That might have been what I was thinking of. Maybe. I think it is. Got another one, but not looking like an issue. Part of it's under the mud. I'm gonna run over the bigger part because I can see visually that it's not sharp without getting out. I don't know what could be underneath that mud where it's completely crushed, but hopefully that was the end of it. Got some big puddles here, and what's that? That orange flag up there. Oh, I see some frogs hopping. Here's a really big puddle and an orange ribbon. What's that? Look at it, it looks like coffee. Someone must have just drove through this recently. Not too deep. Alright, it's another metal pipe. Alright, just wanted to look at something. Driving over the part I can visually see is not sharp. Alright, we got another washout right here. Look at this. Not a problem for us, but pretty big void. That little cut you see there's at least 2 feet high, but we can easily get around it. Really brushing against the bushes today. We're so close. I hope we don't have to turn around. This is starting to become very rutted. Yeah, there's a stream bed here. I want to show you guys. Yeah, look at this. So much debris here. Blocking this pipe. Don't even know where the pipe is. How big is this thing even? A lot bigger than I expected to find. It's like a 3-footer, one that I could actually comfortably walk through. From this side, you would never even know that. Look at all this stuff. Look at that. Look at this standing upright. It's not even budging. There's so much silt and junk against it. Wow. Is there anything that can be done about this one? Ooh. Where even is the entrance? Is that the entrance, or is that just a stump? Here it is. How did I not see that? All right, we're gonna have to attempt it. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is going down here below. I don't think the water will rise where the camera is because there's not much over there. Once we open that, it's gonna drain quick. But look, see how everything's pushed over here? This whole road had water going over it. So that pipe is a joke. If there was an 8-foot pipe, probably wouldn't even have taken, by the evidence, This is pushed over, and the line of pushed over grass goes down the road like 100 feet. There was so much water coming through here. We got camera 2 set up. Usually I just make a bunch of little videos when I'm out here, a couple in a day when we're out here. But today I'm showing you guys the road conditions, the adventures, the maze of closed roads, so you can see what it's actually like out here. Let's try to get this one open as best as possible. But there's so much debris, it's just gonna probably plug back up. This pipe is a joke on a stream bed this big. All right, that big piece is relieving some of the water. We got another keystone piece. This stick is annoying. That one was like pulling out a bunch of elastic bands. All right, we got it fully open. I'm exhausted. We always seem to find the biggest blockages on days I didn't sleep well. This is eroding a bunch of silt now, and there's a whole bunch more debris to plug the culvert the next storm. It's ridiculous how undersized these pipes are. Got a stream bed that big, but the person installing these pipes doesn't think, why is the stream bed that big? Why is nothing growing there? It should go through their brain that Well, it's that big because water's obviously there at some point. But they don't think that for some reason. There's not really much of an increase in flow because we drained a little puddle. Nothing was going over the road. Nothing's being added to the pipe. We didn't add any more flow than what there originally was. Just a brief release of that little flood. That's all it was. But this is a gigantic creek. This should probably have an 8-footer. And that would probably take it. But some of these pieces of debris are so big, maybe even that would get clogged. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is going. All right, we pulled over on a spot, over a rut. I'm almost bottomed out. We had to pull over a lot, just in case someone else came, especially if I'm in a place where I don't notice them coming, like next to a lot of rushing water. See, even right here, this was a raging river. That's why it looks like this. The glue on the camera mount broke. That's why you're hearing that weird shake. I'll have to add more of it when I get home. Yeah, this road's in real bad shape. Look at these ruts. Oh wow. Some really, really bad ones right here. Look how deep those ruts are. Some of those are deep. I could easily bottom out if I chose the wrong path. This is going to be a horrible situation if I have to turn around and go back down this one. We're just trying to get to a certain blockage today. There's a junction coming up. Is this the turn? Not the turn, but we're obviously just made it to a section of maintained road, which is good. I don't know if you could tell when I was ripping those branches out of there, the bark was just sliding off because it was kind of rotten. It just slid right off of those are cedar branches I was grabbing. And as I was pulling it off, it was like exposing these sharp little things underneath it. I still feel that. But now at least we can drive a little bit faster now that the road's in good shape. It's because they're logging this end. Maybe they will fix more of that back there as they continue to log in here. GPS is telling me to turn right. Are you kidding me? Damn it. It's ATV only. So we gotta consult the map again and see if this will go through. This is a big drop. This culvert must be also plugged. A lot of water went over it. I don't even see a dip where the culvert would be. So it's probably like a little 18-inch pipe. Ridiculous. Google Maps definitely helps out here, but you can't fully trust it because it tells you to sometimes go down roads that are closed, don't exist anymore. You can't even tell it was a road, if it even was a road. Who knows how accurate old maps that it's based off of actually are. And then there'll be times it wants you to go away, it doesn't exist, or Then there's roads that are brand new and they're not even on the map yet. Okay, this right here was also a bunch of gushing water. You got this hump, must have a culvert underneath it. I see lots of erosion too. They already got this with the excavator. It's all clear. But just by looking at the map, I can see a easy way around. And this won't be closed because they're sending log trucks. All right, we are back on route. This is that road with that massive sinkhole in the middle of the road that I was showing her at the beginning of the video. This is that same road. We are back on it, beyond the sinkhole. Now, a minute down the road, there'll probably be a bigger sinkhole, but I don't think so. They're actively using this road, so I got a good feeling about getting out of here. Oh my gosh, everyone, look at that. There's a moose up there. Look at that. There's a moose. Wow. There's a moose. Haven't seen a moose in a bit. I think it's been like a month since we've actually seen one. Last time I saw a moose, I think I was in northern Ontario. Look at that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Good picture. Look, it's posing for us to get some good pictures. Nice. Look at that. It's letting us get close. There it goes. It's gonna run off into the woods. Just give it a moment. Where's it gonna go? To us. It stopped. No, it went too deep into the bush. Dark at 7 o'clock at night, and we don't have those days anymore where it stays light until 9. Days are starting to get shorter, so we're going to do one more check before the sun goes down, and everything else we're going to have to wait off for another day. So here we are, we're driving by the upper Beaver Swamp, and here we arrive at the lower Beaver Swamp. We were here about 4 days ago unclogging it. That's when we made the last video of this place, and let's see if it's clogged up again or not. This is a secondary beaver pond, so maybe not. Let's pull over and have a look at it. If there's just a little bit, like not too much, we might leave it and come back another day. All right, it's still really nice out. Never really rained heavy today, just the gradual sprinkles and mist. Okay. We don't know if it's clogged or not. We're about to figure this out. You see, the water's just sitting there. This is pond. This water sitting here means beaver dam way down there that I walked you guys out to last time is at capacity. It was empty last time when we arrived. We unclogged this culvert. It all flowed down there, filled it up, and it's still full because we've been getting a lot of rain. Is there going to be a beaver dam in here? Maybe they built back a little bit, maybe not. It still has a massive bathtub ring. It's 2 feet below where the beavers usually put it. So, yeah, there's not going to be a dam, or there's going to be a teeny little thing. There's a couple sticks on the floor in there. That might be them starting to build back. It also, yeah, it has to be them starting to build back because we had so much current in here, and I dragged my rake to make sure there was nothing in here before, so I think that's them starting to build back with just a few sticks. Got some spider friends in here too. All right, so we'll probably come back out here to this site in a few more days, and you see how little this is actually trickling in here? If they build a dam, it'll probably take them weeks to get this up. It's been raining a lot, and this thing's not trickling too much. When we unclog it and it blasts, it's just lowering the pond down. It's actually coming into this place quite slow. But the fact that this right here is flowing a little bit, that might be what's keeping it full down there, because last time we unclogged it, actually 2 times ago, it was very rainy, and I was surprised to see it so low at capacity. So the beavers actually live down here. They come up here, clog this. They like to have secondary ponds, but them clogging it, that little bit of water that's coming through here looks to be maintaining this pond's level. But when they plug it, yes, it backs it up, and eventually it just goes over the dam, comes through here, you would think, but actually a much smaller fraction. This pond being deeper means it's heavier, pushing it into the aquifer, pushing it into the surrounding area, under the trees and the soil. They're actually losing a lot of water. Them having the secondary pond that they don't even live at, they're wasting their water, and they're in a half dried up swamp down there. They're actually ruining their own home by doing that, and messing with the road, so they're going to get trapped and relocated. Hopefully, if it's actually done by the wildlife officers who are out here all the time trapping them. Otherwise, if the logging company takes it into their own hands, they're just going to end up shooting them. I haven't run into the wildlife officers this year. A lot of times in the past, we've actually ran into them a few times. Once they even took a few pictures with me because they recognized me. But the first time I ever ran into, what are they called? The DNR. The first time I ever ran into them, they pulled up and they asked for my trapping license because they assumed I was trapping the beaver for its fur or whatever. And I wasn't. I was unclogging the culvert, and I showed them how I put cameras up sometimes overnight, and they were cool with it. They left. They didn't care about it. But anyways, everyone, I hope today's video was interesting. We will be back out here in a couple of days to check on this again. We're also going to check on a few more places that I could probably make it there before it's completely dark, but we're already getting to the point where cameras aren't able to operate as well, and it's sprinkling out. I don't want to be using my camera lights out in the water. The diving lamps are pretty bright, but not super duper bright, so we're going to come back out and do further checks in about 2 days, and we'll see what's up. With all the extra water we've been getting, I'm sure there's going to be more blockages on known issue roads, but thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.